What was it like during your time? I don't even remember how many years you had in WWF, but or how long you were there. But just your thoughts on your time in the WWF at the time.
At the time, it was a grueling schedule. We were in three major cities a night. I mean, on Monday nights and Tuesday nights, you'd work anywhere from 1 to 4 or 5 times a night, depending on how many tapes they were doing and how much you were in demand. I was there for 4.5 years. And it's kind of like what I wrote on my Facebook thing today. It's too corporate now. I mean, Vince McMahon. I mean, he took something that was in skating rinks and old auction barns, and every once in a while the civic center, municipal auditorium, and he's in the biggest coliseums in the world. Okay,
Mhm.
and that's what a promoter is supposed to do. Open up the big venues like that.
Yeah.
And back then, yeah, we were in all the biggest places, but we were still in, every once in a while, we'd still be in a high school or a college or what have you. I mean, but the schedule, it was a grueling schedule. And now they don't, the guys don't do it like that. But I wouldn't trade any of my experiences for anything else in the world, because everything's been a lesson for me, a lesson in life and a lesson in business.
Yeah.
So yeah, I take blame as far as any bad decision making and stuff like that throughout my life, throughout my career. I take blame on that because I was never forced into anything. I was strongly advised, to get on the steroids and this, that, and the other. But if I had it to do all over again, I think I'd make some minute changes. But as far as major changes, no, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah. I've heard a number of ex WWF guys from that time period talk about the schedule back then. I mean, it's nothing like it was. I mean, I remember. I don't know who said this, but they were talking about how there used to be. They'd have two different road teams. I mean, you have one.
Well, you had
You have
three.
Oh, it's three. So there you go. You had all these different teams. You were running three different towns a night sometimes,
Hmm.
and it was just a completely different animal as compared to nowadays, where
Completely different game.
yeah, they
Completely
do.
different.
Right now they do Monday, they do Tuesday, and I think they're on the road Wednesday too. But and I think they do like some WWE live type events or house shows on the weekends. But it's definitely not a 7 day a week deal like it was back in the day.
No, no, not at all. I mean, and look, and I go to the events now here and there, and they extend the offer of the offer to me, and I really like getting in there, and the respect I get from the guys. I mean, I can't believe it. It really makes you feel wonderful, when they come
Yeah.
up to you and they start talking to you, like, Ryback. I could spend hours talking to that guy,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's just the respect and the admiration and the I guess in prison you said the props you get um, from those guys, but the guys on the road realize what the guys before them have done, because their schedules, even though they're not anywhere near the same, and they're being treated like the greatest thing in the world. They know what we went through, because they only get a small part of it. Nowadays, you break a fingernail or whatever, and you got a week off, or they've got doctors check you. We didn't have that. You got
Yeah.
hurt, it was tape up and go time. And I learned
Yeah.
that from Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Terry. I remember Terry walking into Greensboro, North Carolina. He's laid out on the table. I said, "What's wrong, Terry?" And he said, "Oh, I've got a fractured hip." Yeah, the man had a fractured hip, and he still went in there, still went out there and put like 45 minutes in with Flair. You know, the bell rang, he come up, and when he walked through that curtain, yeah, he was limping some, but the guy still made it out there. I mean, those are the days of tape up and go. You know,
Yeah.
then you get later on in careers and stuff, and oh man, I think I pulled this. Well, we didn't have that luxury back then. You know, if you went out there, whether you were hurt or not, you did what you could.